And I'm on. So today I'm going to be translating Romanian. That is correct. I have a song on my phone and I have written out a translation on paper. And what I'm going to be doing is first telling you how I would translate this just off the top of my head. And then we're going to go to ChatGPT and see what the proper translation should be. So we're going to try to have some fun. So to give you a little bit of background, I've been studying Latin for quite a long time as a classics major. Graduated with a degree in classics a year ago, almost 2 years ago. And now I'm going to be studying at the University of Kentucky coming in the fall with a spoken Latin program. I've been speaking Latin for several years, on and off, and am very interested in Latin as a spoken language. Now, as far as Romanian, up until just a little bit ago, I had only known Doamne miluiește, Doamne miluiește, Doamne miluiește, Lord have mercy in Romanian. That was it. I don't know anything else, I just knew that it was a Romance language. But besides Lord have mercy that I had sung in the church choir, don't know any Romanian. So I took it upon myself a week ago to use the Pimsleur method and try to learn Romanian that way. So I've gone through 18 lessons out of the 30 Introduction to Romanian Pimsleur lessons. And the goal is to see if that little bit of Romanian is enough for me to listen to a Christian song and correctly translate it. So here I'm going to start by, we're just going to listen to the first few lines.
Sunt plin de bucurie că am un Salvator.
Okay, so Sunt plin de bucurie. I am plin. I am full de bucurie. I'm full of bucurie. So I'm guessing this is full of thanksgiving, full of gratitude, something like that. I am full of thankfulness is what I penciled down. And then ca am un Salvator. That seemed fairly straightforward. That I have a savior. Salvator, I at least know that in Spanish that's similar. And in Latin, Salvator, Salvatores. This sounds very Latin. So I would translate it that I'm grateful or thankful that I have a savior. And then we'll keep going. This is a little bit more complicated. I'm not really sure what grija is. So I'm going to guess that this one, I'm going to say, and that he opened a door for me. Poartă seems to be the word for door. I'm not quite sure what grija is. So he's something me and then a door. And then si vine and ajutor. I think ajutor has got to be from ajutor, a helper in Latin. So I'm going to guess that this is something about vine, like he became a helper or he comes to be a helper or something like this. Something with the word helper. And vine would be like from the word venio in Latin. Venio, venire, he came to be a helper. That's what I'm going to guess. Here we go. I'm going to say in fiecare. I'm not sure what fiecare is. I'm going to say the fiery day. That's going to be my translation. In the fiery day, his presence is going to be in my life. That would be simt, prezența-n, in viața mea. His presence is in my life. And I'm thankful, mulțumesc. I'm thankful for all that I do. I'm not sure what primesc would be, but I'm thankful for everything that I primesc. I'm guessing everything that I do. I'm thankful for everything that I primesc. And then through the day is what I'm going to say. So I'm going to say for air, pretty straightforward, Pentru, Pentru, Appa, for water, And then everything, tocha primesc, everything that I primesc, everything that I experience is what I'm going to put it as. And then Pentru, haine, Pentru, pâine, I'm thinking for health and for pain. And then thou, Lord, thee I thank. That's what I'm translating it to. And then sănătate, Doamne, I'm going to say for thee, O Holy Lord, something like that. Sanctitate, the holiness of the Lord, something like that. I'm thankful for the Holy Lord. And then for the life which he's given me. Now, this is what I'm really, really struggling, okay? So, Vreau, like, I trust that thee, I'm okay with that. Slujesc. This got to be a Slavic word. It sounds like shlusha, which is like slusha to hear in Russian. I think slusha, like, so I'm not really sure. Like, maybe I'm thankful that you hear, but it's first person singular. So I'm thankful that I hear. I'm not really sure. I'm thankful that I slujesc, whatever. And then neîncetat. Maybe I'm thankful that I'm aware that you're born. I'm wondering if that's just from the word naskitor. That's what it looks like to me. I'm not really sure. But anyways, that's what I'm guessing. I'll be checking it with ChatGPT in a second. So we'll see. Okay, so there's still another verse, another chorus, but before we go too far, I'm going to just stop with that first verse and start looking at Google Translate then. So starting from the beginning, I'll see if I'm right or if I'm wrong. Sunt, plin, bucurie. I am full of joy. I said I'm full of thankfulness. I think joy and thankfulness are similar enough that should be fine. I think that's probably a good enough translation. And then that I have a savior. That I'm going to say 2 sentences in a row. Check, check. I am good on those. And then the next one I said grija. I have no idea what the grija is. I said that it was that he opened a door. Let's see what the Google Translate actually says. It says, who my care bears. So like who bears my care. So poartă would be portat. Oh, I get it. I thought that looked like a verb. So portat, he carries. And then what does he carry? He carries grija mea. Oh, so my grief. Okay, he carries my grija. This would be so he bears my grief or carries my burden, something like that. Okay, so that was way off. But I saw the word porta and I thought it was a door. So this is actually porto to carry. And then in every day. Okay, so the Z I did correctly get was day, but I said fiery day. I thought that fiecare is going to have to be like in the fiery day. Made it very, very extravagant, very, I guess, extraordinary. Not quite as extraordinary. The fiecare Z is just every day. So I got the word every wrong, and I did get the word day. So I have a little bit of a wrong meaning there, but not too bad. And then I said something about his presence is in my life. Let's see if this is right. It says, to him, I feel the presence in my life. So I'm going to say check marks there. That's good enough. I translated it pretty well. And then mulțumesc. To him, I give thanks. I said, I thank him. And then Pentru, Ție-ți, primesc. For all that I receive from his hand. Okay. So I said, for all things that I do through the day. It's a little bit different. Mana. Okay, I wasn't sure that mana is going to be like manus, his hands. So manasa, his hands. So that's interesting, actually. Okay, so now the chorus, and I said for air, for water, for everything that I experience. It's actually for air, for water, for all that I receive. So primesc is actually the word receive. I knew that I was just guessing on that one. Receive instead of experience, but I think I had it pretty close actually. And then Pentru, haine, pâine. I guessed it was for health and pain. I mean, pâine sounds like pain to me. Paine. It's actually for clothes and for bread. Okay, so I guess in the context, I thought health and pain is also something that we can thank God for. But I did think it was a little bit out of context. So for clothes and for bread, that's actually a little bit better suit. Pâine like panis in Latin. And then Doamne, Ție-ți, mulțumesc. Lord, to you I give thanks. And I said, thou Lord, thee I thank. So that's spot on. Perfect. And then Pentru, viața, ce dot for the life that you have given me. Again, I said my translation, for the life that you have given me. So perfect. Oh, for Pentru, sănătate, Doamne. Actually, this was for health. I skipped a line. I said it had to be for the Holy Lord. This is health. Okay, so I was off on that. So a little bit off on that. But then for the viața, ce dot for the life that you've given me. Perfect. Straight on it. And then Vreau, slujesc. Isus, it says, I want to serve you. So slujesc means to serve. Vreau, I would like or I want. So slujesc, I'd like to serve you, Jesus. And then unceasingly, that's the neîncetat. Okay, unceasingly. So I knew that the neîncetat, I had no clue. I guessed it had to do with nascut, to be born, and that is wrong. I thought that Vreau would be I trust. It means I want. And now we have a perfect translation. Okay, so now we're on the next verse. Let's check this out. See if I can translate this any better. Verse 2. Okay, so I translated this. I am grateful that Jesus is in my life, and I will not fear during rough times. And I'm going to just make this a little bit more sped up. We're going to go back and forth. My translation straight to ChatGPT. ChatGPT says, I rejoice today, Jesus, that you're in my life. I'm going to say spot on. Grateful, rejoice. It's close enough. Translated that wonderfully. And then I said, I will not fear during rough times. And it says here, with you, I'm not afraid, whatever may happen. Hey, I'm going to say that's good enough. During what times that ever happened, I understood the context. I figured it out. We'll keep going. Okay, so I have it that my life I've given to thee. All that I have, it's all thine. And then I had said, I thank thee that thou art with me and I'm born again. I didn't know that this nah shit, whatever it was. I'm going to actually fix this to say unceasingly. I think it's the same word. Unceasingly. And we're saying I'm thankful to you unceasingly. Let's see what ChatGPT says. ChatGPT says, okay, my life I've given to you. My life I have given thee. So I use these and ChatGPT does not. That's okay. It's good. I'm going to start it off. Good translation. And then all that I have, it's all thine. All that I have is yours. Hey, I'm also spot on. That's perfect. And then ție-ți, mulțumesc. I thank you that you are with me and accompany me always. I said, I thank thee that thou art with me and unceasingly. Okay, so the change is correct. The whole born again, nasco, that was a false friend, and it was not correct. Okay, and that is the end of that of the second verse, and it's going to go back to the chorus. So I'll let it play a little bit, and we'll see if we can understand what this is saying now. Okay, so we're saying for air, for water, for clothes, and for food, for health, and then for the life which you've given me, and then I will serve you, Jesus. So I'm going to give myself an A minus. I think that it was pretty much spot on. There was only a couple words that I couldn't figure out. And so I'm going to leave it to anybody that watches this. Leave your opinion in the chat. Do you think that a classicist like myself, a Latin speaker, a Latinist that has only studied Romanian for 1 full week using the Pimsleur method is able to understand Romanian? Or do you think that it is like I still got a long ways to go? I'll leave that open-ended, see what we can figure out. If anybody watches this has any ideas. I would say that the Slavic words are going to be a little bit harder for me to figure out unless I know they're in Russian, which I do. I have studied some Russian, so that might actually be something I could figure out. The Latin vocabulary, I think it's extremely simple. And even though I missed a few of them, like the word poartă being porto, portat, portare, I think that the Latin vocabulary is easy, even if I miss it, to be like, oh yeah, that rings a bell. But then again, even Latin words I can easily miss. And so the question is, should classical studies mandate Romanian as part of the study? Or at least should it be a bigger program? Is Romanian something that classicists should actually study? Or is it sort of irrelevant? And I would actually vouch for, now that I've studied Romanian for just 1 week, I would have to say I should have learned it sooner, and that I'll be studying Romanian probably more than French, just because I want to study Romanian and I like it a lot more than French. I can speak Romanian a lot better than French. I don't know how to pronounce some of these words in French. Like, for instance, if I wanted to say I sleep in Latin, it's dormio. If I'm speaking Spanish, duermo. If I'm speaking, I don't know, let's say Romanian, I say eu dorm. Okay, so I just make it shorter. If I speak French, I gotta say je dors or something. I don't know, door. It's too short and it's hard to come out. Romanian's a nice balance. Dorm, you know, it works. So anyways, that is a classicist trying to translate Romanian on the spot, and I think I did a pretty good job. I will see you guys later, and for now, I'm going to say revedere, or I could say ad revidere, to see you again.